Glenn Kleiber from Hawaii says, hello, GI crew. What was the biggest disappointment from this year's E3 for you guys? Does anything stand out as especially disappointing?
Microsoft, no new first-party announcements. That was the big glaring one for me. You know, their first-party catalog is pretty weak. You know, it's you know, the big guns like Halo and Gears are kind of, you know, treading water while the other stuff really isn't elevating. You know, I that's not to say State of Decay 2 and Sea of Thieves didn't have pretty good shows, but
it's been a couple years.
You look beyond that and it's like, well, what else is coming?
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that. Does Crimson Skies count? Original Xbox game?
I don't know if that counts,
that's an announcement that you can play it on an Xbox One.
Yeah.
That's a good one. The one that stood out for me is thinking about just being on the cover story trip for Uncharted Lost Legacy. They were teasing. They're like, oh, we're going to have some pretty crazy set pieces in this game. We understand maybe people were not as satisfied as they could have been from the set pieces from Uncharted 4. Like, there's going to be a big focus here. And so, like, this is the place to show it and get into that behind closed doors demo. I was fully expecting it. And, like, it's a cool sequence, but it's just kind of a car crashing through an environment again. I really wanted a novel Naughty Dog set piece from that, and they didn't really deliver.
For me, it was, I thought both Microsoft and Sony, I'm used to getting a little bit more of a human touch out of their press conferences, and I thought while both of them did a good job of like keeping the focus on games, which has in some previous years has been a big problem, it felt ultimately like we were kind of just like getting, okay, and now this trailer, and now check out this trailer, and guess what, everybody, we have another trailer, and now we have a gameplay sequence, but nobody's playing it. It's just a video.
What about the Darwin Project announcer that was on stage for Microsoft screaming out over the headset? Is that the human touch you're looking for?
I mean, I think I like it more at those press conferences. I know that it's dangerous. It leads, you know, human error always leads to unexpected things, and nobody who's running one of those press conferences wants unexpected things to happen. It is way easier to queue up a video and have it flow and have it be presented exactly the way that you want it to be. So I get the reasoning behind that, but it's disappointing to me. I think one of the most interesting things about the gaming industry are the people who are making the games.
Yeah.
And when you have this big public stage, to not put more of those people out there to talk about the products that they're making, talk about the artwork that they're making, that was a little disappointing to me.
I can see that, yeah. Dan, home team?
Yeah. Oh, I like the trailer format, by the way. I don't want to hear somebody come out and drone about, like, you know, a carefully rehearsed statement about how much passion he put into the game when he was, you know, whatever.
But anyway, to be clear, you did lose your heart in a card game a while back, though.
Yeah,
right?
I did. And I'm still traveling through Depression-era America.
Well, depress us now. What brought you down to these three?
What brought me down? No Bloodborne 2. That brought me down a lot.
There we go.
Actually, forget the Bloodborne 2. No From Software stuff at all. That was a big downer. Yeah. When I know they're working on, 3 different games right now? So where are they? Come on. Get
out of the woodwork, buddy.
Yeah, I guess along those lines, it was very, you know, for me, one of the big things about E3 is the surprises. And there was
there weren't a lot of surprises.
There was none, right?
What?
Shadow of the Colossus.
I don't know. I think there was actually quite a few.
Yeah,
like new IPs.
Evil,
there was a decent amount of new IP.
Yeah, all right, that's fair.
2D Metroid and Metroid Prime 4. That's pretty.
I know people are going to say, you know, you begged for a 2D Metroid, now you got one, be happy, and I'm like, nah, I wish it wasn't a remake. You know, so it's
one of those guys.
I mean, Anthem, Skull and Bones, Hidden Agenda. There was a lot of new. A Way Out. There was new stuff.
Dan, I think you just have to look in the mirror and realize.
I guess I do.
I'm actually with Dan on this one.
Really?
I do agree. There were a few cool surprises, but compared to other years' shows, I didn't come away feeling like it would. For me,
we're at year 4 of the console cycle. Like, this is usually when there is no new IP.
Well, I think for me it was a matter of going to this show. I felt like almost everything I saw was a little better than I expected it to be. Right, when I first, for instance, one of the case in point games in that vein for me was the Mario plus Rabbids game. Right.
Yeah.
The moment I heard about that, I was like, nope, that's a bad idea. I don't like that. And then I went and played it, and it's cute, it's fun. It's a good game. At least at this phase, what I saw of it was a good game, and that was sort of the arc of almost everything I saw at the show this year. Was like, oh, this is totally solid. Like, this is a game I'm now a little more looking forward to than I thought I would be. But there weren't a lot of things in terms of actual stuff that we were going to be playing sometime. You know, like Anthem's a long way out, right? There's a lot of things we don't know about Anthem. there weren't a lot of things that just totally was like, oh, I just didn't even know about this thing, and now it's like one of my most anticipated games. I didn't have that experience.
I think A Way Out kind of falls in that category for me, where it's like, here's something I didn't expect. Like, I knew Joseph's new game was probably going to be there, but I didn't expect a bizarre split screen co-op experience from there. So that kind of falls in there for me. But yeah, I think it's fair. Real quick, also just have Battlefront 2 focusing on multiplayer during the press conference instead of single player, which seemed like the most interesting aspect of that game. It was disappointing.
And how
there's better ways to show multiplayer. I'll say that.
Oh my god!
How odd to choose.
It's
for mostly at E3 you have a bunch of like adult gamers, right? Why choosing Naboo?
It was really curious.
Very curious.
Oh, they were appealing.
It looked awesome.
Yeah.
But you have a bunch of new. You have 2 movies to pull from that weren't in the last game.
I've been told that the prequels are much beloved and never to talk crap about them again. I've heard this a lot.
Was that in your review with Reiner?
That was feedback from the EA press conference when we were talking.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. People are really into Naboo and the prequels. And
Game changers and prequels neck and neck.
The game
it's
changers,
a beautiful thing.
That's right.
All right.
Wow.
Also, real quick, disappointed that Alpha Dream is working on a remake of that Mario and Luigi RPG for 3DS. Like, I wanted Nintendo to get their developers on Switch already. Leave that effing thing behind. Ooh. Anyways, John from Atlanta, another downer. Hey guys, what games or studios were not at E3 that you had hoped to see?
Hey, we just talked about this.
For me, it's Rocksteady, Retro Studios, and the 30-plus games Nintendo put on a poster back in January. So what notable absences really popped for you guys outside of Bloodborne 2?
Well, Red Dead, everybody was like, where was Red Dead? Rockstar doesn't do E3 really. It's super rare that they do it, right? Yeah. So that didn't surprise me. And Cyberpunk, the CD Projekt's new game, they kind of said we're a ways away still. The one I thought maybe we'd get would be a new Bethesda Game Studios game.
Yeah.
Because that showcase certainly could have used one.
Pete Hines seemed depressed up there by the end.
It feels like it really felt during that, like there was that game that was supposed to be there, and then they pulled it at like the last minute.
Yeah, I wondered about that
because it really felt abrupt. It's like, hey, Wolfenstein, bye.
And there were a lot of rumors too that we were going to be seeing that. And
well, I wonder if I think the counterpoint would be there were 2 areas in that thing under construction, that map that they laid out, which they showed. Yeah, and so they accounted for those 2 under construction areas, and they showed that a while back. That would be the counter argument, but yes, it did feel like it needed something.
You could change that one little graphic pretty easily to facilitate, Doom VR or whatever one of those things ended up being.
Sure, could be. I could not believe that Media Molecule was not out there with Dreams.
Yeah.
Holy Lord, get that thing out the door.
I was surprised about that.
It's not going out. It's going away. It's going to be a dream now.
I was also.
I don't think so. I think that game's real.
I think the game is real. I just don't.
I think they're saving it for PSX and a big VR.
I asked somebody at Media Molecule where was this game, and they said, you know what, E3 is not the place to show that thing off. We want a smaller group of people that are a little more focused, that can give it more attention as opposed to like a 5-second demo or something.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I wasn't expecting to see like some big gameplay demo of it, but I kind of was surprised that we didn't see anything from 343.
I thought they'd show like just test
Halo
footage
teaser.
running at 4K or something. Yeah,
or even just the kind of logo title treatment teaser kind of thing. Of the next Halo.
They technically showed Master Chief warping in through ones and zeros or whatever in that montage for the Xbox One X, but that was it. Yeah, that was shocking. Also, there's not a great place for it or a natural fit because WB doesn't have a press conference, but still crazy that we don't know what Warner Brothers Montreal is working on.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
It has been a long time.
Really, we were up at that studio years and years ago.
It was a long, long time ago.
Thank you so much for watching this excerpt from the Game Informer Show podcast. You can subscribe to the audio version and listen to new episodes airing every Thursday. We cover big games on the horizon, games that we've just reviewed. We have long-form developer interviews, a lot of fun stuff. So check it out every Thursday.